Graphite KOS is Synaptica's software application for creating and curating knowledge organization systems, KOS, based on linked data and semantic web standards. KOS created in Graphite are stored in the backend RDF graph database, or triple store, OntoText GraphDB. With Graphite, you can quickly design, build, and manage enterprise knowledge organization systems using an intuitive graphical user interface. Control vocabulary should provide a single source of truth for terminology. However, different end users and consuming applications can have very different needs. For example, not all users need to see every concept in a vocabulary. Likewise, consuming systems may need only selected subsets of a vocabulary or use labels or properties differing from the same concepts used by end users in another way. Creating multiple vocabularies for use by multiple users and applications is not only time-consuming, it defeats the purpose of using control vocabularies as a single source of truth. In addition, creating multiple vocabularies and trying to reconcile the differences takes time and can be extremely complicated. Let's take a look at various methods for using a single taxonomy housed in Graphite for different end user and consuming application purposes. First, let's start in the application itself and see how a single vocabulary can be used for different purposes by system users. I have set up two projects, Geography and Language. Both projects include the same two vocabularies, the UNESCO Thesaurus, and a vocabulary to house concepts representing Confluence wiki pages called Confluence Pages-Geography and Language. However, depending on which role a user logs in as, they will see different properties with different permissions. When I log in as a project administrator, I can see all properties and perform all actions on the concepts, as well as having the ability to edit project-level options. If I log in as a geography editor, my view will be based on my role. In geography, we are using the UNESCO Thesaurus for editors to curate the geography terms spread across the thesaurus. When I first log in, the only project option is geography. Although geography editors can see many of the other fields available to other editors using this same vocabulary, they can also see and edit two additional fields, latitude and longitude. In this concept, Kenya, we can see the latitude and longitude fields included and completed. If I log in as a language editor, however, the only project option is language. I can see the same vocabulary and concepts, but note that I can't see the latitude and longitude fields. I can see and edit the language code field. Also note that neither role can edit the preferred labels. The ability to edit all fields, including added governance fields, are only available to project administrators. In integrated consuming systems using control vocabularies for purposes like content tagging, we have other ways of displaying a single vocabulary in multiple ways. Using our Confluence connector as an example of how taxonomies can be used for content tagging in a user interface, we can also see how a taxonomy can be filtered. The first, most noticeable way to filter the taxonomy is by relationship. By creating a relationship between the taxonomy and the content itself, we are restricting which concepts can be used for tagging in any given field. If we look at a geography page, for example, we can see that we have a single relationship, has geography, pointing to a single taxonomy. We could just as easily have one relationship pointing to many taxonomies or many relationships pointing to one or more taxonomies. The use case determines how the tagging should look on the front end, including how familiar content creators and taggers are with the taxonomy. Another way to display a vocabulary for end users is to only display concepts which are ready for publication. For example, if one of our already mentioned geography editors wants to tag the wiki page on Kenya from the UNESCO Thesaurus, they will only be able to use concepts in the published status. As I go through as a geography editor, I can tag published concepts like Africa south of the Sahara, East Africa, and Kenya. If I try to add the concept Indian Ocean, however, I don't see it. Note that geography editors can see concepts that are in the published state, and they can also hover over the concept and see concept properties they are allowed to view. As we can see back in graphite, the concept Indian Ocean exists in the vocabulary, but it is not in the published state. Filtering by status can assure that only reviewed concepts ready for publication can be seen and used in the consuming system, providing us a subset of the overall vocabulary. We can also only display concepts which are filtered by an applied property called a collection. For example, if one of our already mentioned language editors wants to tag the wiki page on languages of Kenya from the UNESCO thesaurus, they will only be able to use concepts which are included in one of two collections, languages or linguistic groupings. They are also limited to only published concepts within these collections. So, the language editor can tag concepts like English-speaking Africa, English, and Swahili, but they won't see geography terms or other concepts not included in the two collections in their project. Like geography editors, language editors can see concepts that are in the published state, and they can also hover over the concept and see concept properties they are allowed to view. Back in Graphite, we can see the two collections applied to language terminology from the UNESCO thesaurus and available to language editors. Geography editors can only use concepts in the published state in the geography or political geography collections. Collections specific to geography editors are available in the geography project. Collections are useful because they are not bound to a single vocabulary or branch of a vocabulary. Collections can gather terms from one or more vocabularies in any location in the hierarchy. Another use case for viewing a single taxonomy in different ways is to create different versions for A/B testing based on a single originating taxonomy. A/B testing involves taking two versions of a taxonomy, or web page, piece of marketing content, etc., and presenting them randomly to end users to see which performs better. In our example, we have created a very small geography taxonomy and created a copy using a replication and forking feature in Graphite. In this copy, we have made changes to the groupings in the hierarchy. In the taxonomy called Geography Version A, we have grouped Africa and the Middle East and Asia and Oceania. In the taxonomy called Geography Version B, we have split out Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Oceania. We have separated these two vocabularies into individual projects so we can see clearly each taxonomy and understand how they are being accessed. Geography editors are randomly served up the same wiki page with different taxonomies. These editors can provide feedback on ease of use. Metrics are often collected through other tools, like a web content management system, for example, to understand how end users may navigate down a taxonomy tree, where they hover with their mouse on a page, or where they click through the most on a navigational term. In the taxonomy management system, we can easily create different versions of a taxonomy to provide to A/B testing. In this video, we have seen how a single taxonomy can be reused so different roles can see and edit different properties, see different subsets of concepts based on their status or the application of a collection, and how a single taxonomy can be replicated for use in A/B testing. The configuration of a single taxonomy for different applications ensures we are using a common source of truth in the form of a control vocabulary, and also saves time creating many versions of taxonomies tailored specifically for different consuming users and systems. Find out more about Synaptica and our products and services at www.synaptica.com or send us an inquiry at info@synaptica.com.